we're going to replace this rear hatch seal on this 1985. It's very common that they shrink up, they go bad. It's not that big of a job to do. First thing you got to do is remove all the trim to expose it. I marked the center on the deck and up here, and also marked the weather strip. That's where you have to start from when you trip a new one out. There are a few hidden screws. First thing you do is pop that off. Remove the trim screws that hold this rear panel in place, along with the front two here. And we remove the clothes hanger and all the trim screws from the halo trim, so it can, you don't have to take it all the way out. I just remove them so I can access this area. Now on the back, I'm going to remove the interior light because there's a hidden screw behind here. Be careful because these are old and brittle. Like that. And back here is the hidden screw for this panel. And obviously we have to disconnect these to get this out. So back to the outside. Get all the trim screws out of this. There's that. And these, like I said, be careful when you disconnect these rear defrost wires. They can be a little tricky. They're soldered onto the rear of this and you don't want to flex it too much. Really? Spam risk. So, you can untwist these, unscrew them to get them apart. I prefer to do it this way. Where is it? Pull the latch off that way, lay it down. I have a piece of wood. Prop this open. I'm going to replace these as well because they're kind of weak. Now this piece will come out. Ta-da. All right, trim's all removed. We're ready to start pulling this seal out of here. You start in the corner, start in the middle. Let's pull it off. This one's going to come out in pieces. Past here. And there's the old one. Yuck. And I'll spend a few minutes cleaning up this area in here, which is a good idea. You don't want to leave all that dirt and stuff in there. So I'll do that and we'll get back to you. Got the channel cleaned up to put the new weather strip in, but you know, this car does not have drains. We sell a kit that you can drill a hole right in this corner so the water will drain out. It's a common problem. It's messy. I hate it. Every time you wash your car, there's water laying in there. You drive it, it runs down the side. So we sell this kit, part number 16805K. Pretty easy install. I'll walk you through it real quick here. First thing you want to do is protect the paint because you're going to be drilling quite close to this edge. So I put at least 5 or 6 layers of tape and then some thick duct tape as the outer. An 1/8" drill. The instructions come with this. Drill your pilot as close to this corner as you can without damaging anything. There's 2 layers. That's the first one, that's the second one. As you can see, the drill bit kind of caught the tape, but the paint's protected. A little larger, this is the 5/16. The finishing try to keep it as vertical as possible. One, 2. And there's the hole. And no damage. Yay. Take the tube. There's some caulk sealant. They give you a little more than you need, but that's always nice. Rather than have too much than not enough. Put it around the base of it. Stick it down in the hole. I've already did the other side and I noticed I had to cut a little bit off the end because it went down and folded over on top of the wheel well. This one I've already trimmed to the same length as that, so there should be an issue at all. Put it down in there like that. And then I take a blunt rounded chisel that I made. I have to grab a hammer. Contour that. The brass piece will bend a little bit. That way you get the majority of the water. And I just clean up the excess sealant. So now, when the water gets caught in there, it will drain out into the wheel well area and out on the ground. Now we're going to install the new seal. I marked the center and the center. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it's a good starting point. And you just shove it back on that lip and work your way down. Verify that. Pretty darn close. Work your way around. You leave the corners out for right now. Those go in last. This side. Okay. And I gotta get the center here. Take a piece of wood out for a second. Lay this in here. I have it marked. Put the wood back in for right now. Important, don't knock that out while you're doing this, because it hurts if it comes down and hits you in the head. there. Then we'll work on the corner. You stick it here. Up here. Well, we gotta come a little more this way. Sometimes you have to stretch it just a little bit, and it will. A lot of times when you push back, get that extra oomph. Slide it on that. That's better. So now that you got the seal in place, you can start reassembling. The trim back on. First thing you want to do is make sure you get these pieces in the corner. You got to snake this around the back side of that, keeping the defroster wire accessible to replug in. Like that. Comes out through this little hole here. It's going to go back up. And we can put the screws back in. So you probably don't need to see all of that, but that's the final step, other than putting these back on. I'm going to put one on right now. Since I put that piece on, snap on. Like that. Reconnect with the defroster wires. Same thing on the other side. So I'll have it all buttoned up, and then when you close the glass, don't slam it right away. Let it down slow. This has to compress quite a bit because the oval is pretty flat. There are little holes in it to let the air out. So leave it closed. We'll open it up in a couple of days, and it should be fine.